My name is Frank Sheftel. I'm actually a candidate for CD2 for Wendy Gruel's seat. The election's coming up September 22nd. I encourage everybody in the area to make sure they vote. This is a special election and we need that. I'm also very kind of upset with our city. I think that we're looking to put the blame into why we have so many of these places, and I think it rests solely on the City Council. The City Council enacted a moratorium a couple of years ago to get a handle on this. During that time, 500 more opened up. How is that possible? The moratorium, 186 went on a registered list, all right? Then there shouldn't have been any more licenses granted. Somebody didn't send the memo to the business department and they kept issuing licenses. At the time, the hardship exemption was explained that people were, at the time, the DEA was sending out letters to the landlords, and the landlords were evicting the dispensaries. The ones that were on the list were given an opportunity with a hardship exemption to be able to relocate so that they weren't a victim of the DEA. And that's what my understanding was. It wasn't specifically written in there, and that had it been written specifically, I think that would have closed the loophole, because it would have been people only if you're on the registered list and if you had a problem and you needed to relocate because of that. Other attorneys saw it and drove through it, and everybody, we didn't make it on time, we know it's illegal, and we were afraid to expose ourselves. There's lots of other things. But besides the collectives, you also have the doctors. That's a whole industry in itself. And all this stuff about people going to the collectives that don't look like they need it, and the people that truly, what the law was written for, aren't the ones that are going to this. Well, that again is the doctors. You've got to look at that, and that's a whole other industry. But as well as that, you've got publications. I mean, is this a whole industry besides the collectives? You've got magazines, you've got all kinds of things. Is the city attorney going to look at part of the regulations on advertising? On, one magazine had free aid for the first 100 patients. It was on the news. There was a line down the block of people looking to get free weed. I mean, these are things that need to be looked at as well. It's very important that these things be addressed, as well as the land use and all the other things. But the other issue you're going to have is along the billboard issue, where the city didn't follow through with what they were supposed to do. The same thing you're going to have with the collectives. You're looking at litigation. Are the people that opened up after the registration, are they going to go ahead and now sue the city? Are the people on the registered list, the 186, going to sue the city? I mean, there's a lot of things that is going to be exposure. So I think those are things that need to be looked at as well. I hope that the departments that are all working take a look at everything that's involved and put together some very good regulations that we can live by. And my concern also is that the other gentleman said, 2 years is what the law says regarding a moratorium. You've extended it an extra 6 months. Is that in violation of California law as well, or state law? Is that something that's going to come back and bite us in the rear? And you're going to have litigation over that, like he said, in September when the 2-year period is up? So these are a lot of things that we need to look at. As somebody that's running for city council, I believe that it's time that...
Yeah, that's a political speech.
All right. I'm just saying that I have not only... Okay. The last thing I'm going to say is that I am involved and have been involved. I formed a collective 3 years ago. I'm on the registered collective list. So I also know what's going on from that perspective, and I'm concerned about that.
Are there any other candidates here? To give them equal time? Oh no, this wasn't important enough for them.